Hello, everyone. Chris here from Midwest Coaster Fans. I've got Dustin and Jacob from our team, and Brian joining us from. Hello?
Hey.
Can you guys all hear me okay, or am I
Yep.
still going in and out?
Nope, you're good for now.
Yeah, we're doing good.
Dustin fell asleep. He's taking a nap.
We're going to go into a couple of subjects today. So we're going to talk about HoliWood Nights, Kentucky Kingdom, and then there's some controversy going around right now dealing with something that happened during Keys to the Kingdom. So we're going to talk about both of those, or all three of those things. But we're going to start off first with HoliWood Nights. Getting a lot of feedback. Hold on a second. I'm going to let you guys go ahead and talk about it, and I'll be right back. I'm going to exit out of here, and I'm going to remove myself from my cell phone and go back to the regular one because this is acting up. I don't know why.
All right, so HoliWood Nights. I mean, it was definitely a first for Dustin and I. What did you think about it?
I loved it. It was a lot of fun.
And I know you're a pro at it. Not you, Dustin.
Oh no, this was actually my first time visiting as well.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Even with the COVID, what did you guys think of it?
I thought it was exceptional. I mean, for me, it wasn't just about Trimlow's Voyage. I mean, that's a huge plus, but just interacting with everybody in the community and meeting all those people was awesome.
Now, what do you guys think about the fact that this has probably been one of their biggest crowds in quite a while? I think that they counted anywhere from 900 to 1,000 for us this past weekend.
Yeah, that's really special. I think it just speaks volumes to how social media is starting to grow this community further and further. And I think it's only going to make the event bigger and bigger, especially with YouTubers, like Airtime Thrills and Airtime Mike pushing it as much as they do throughout the year.
Mm-hmm. I know with this being my first year, I really enjoyed it. I mean, Friday night, the rain was a little bit of a downer, but I still think everybody made the best of it. I know Friday, we still got a good amount of rides in. Of course, that ERT in the water park. I know everybody loved their ride on Cheetah Chase that they got. What did you think of Cheetah Chase?
I thought it was a decent addition. It definitely not as thrilling as Wildebeest or Mammoth, but you definitely get soaked.
Especially if you sit in the back seat.
Yeah.
The first time we rode it, it just came crashing over the back of me, and I didn't even know what just happened. I was like, it was kind of like the feeling I got off the Steel Vengeance, where I was like, what the hell just happened?
So I mean, like you're suffocated with water almost when you go through those tunnels. It's so much.
Dustin, what did you think about it?
I liked it. I mean, it wasn't my favorite, but still, it was still a fun ride. I never got to experience it in the back because you have to have the heaviest in the back. So it wasn't me.
Oh yeah, I'm so skinny that I could blow away with the wind. But you guys have seen my wife. She's like a kite. So how did you guys think with what did you guys think about how they did the backstage tour with COVID this year, and what did you guys think about the auctions they held?
The backstage tour, I like how they did the reservation system. I feel like it was much more organized than in past years. Everybody got a shot to get their shots. They didn't have, other cameras or things like that in the way.
Yeah, I felt like everybody wasn't stacked on top of each other like it probably has been in the past.
Exactly.
And I liked it on that how we didn't feel like we were rushed at all.
Mm-hmm.
We took our time and everything. Now, then we go up a little offsides, like on Keys of the Kingdom. I felt rushed because you only got 2 to 3 cycles, and then you had to get out of there.
And see, I felt with the winter. I know this is jumping subject too, but with the winter walkthrough we did, I felt kind of the same way where they were trying to push us and just get us through, and we didn't get it. I know when we were backstage in the studios and stuff, we had a good amount of time, but when we were photographing the coasters, I felt like they were pushing us through. Oh, I can't highlight. We just had Adam comment in. I have never been to HoliWood Nights, but it would be a fantastic event to attend. Love the old Holiday World Splash and Safari flags; those are great. Love my home theme park. The flags behind me. Oh, thank you, Chris. Funny story. The physical auctions that they had this year, they had a lot of flags up for sale. Like our buddy Zach got a set of flags off of Legend. They gave a set of nice to meet you too, Josh. Set of flags off of Raven, and of course Voyage, and of course they did the train logo Voyage. But my wife and we entered for the water park and the actual theme park flags that you get when you come in, and the purple flag is so huge. It's 6 feet long, and those two white flags are big enough to cover my couch, one each when they're unfolded. I have to have them folded up so I can get them up on the wall. But I know they also had an experimental one as well, or not experimental, but an experience one as well, which Dustin got to take part in. He got to do a backstage tour of Thunderbird. We got to do a Gobbler Getaway walkthrough, and they also had the Voyage lift climb and the Voyage track walk and some cool other experiences as well.
Yeah, I saw all the Voyage flags down there too, from the lift hill.
Yeah, and
Those would have been cool.
Dustin could probably remember better than me, but some of the Voyage stuff went for about $7. I know the train logo I think went for $700 plus.
Did it go up that high? Wow.
Yeah, it was $600-700.
Wow,
They paid, but it was all for charity, which was great. I know for these flags, for the two flag sets, we paid $202 for
the two
our
flags.
bids on the two Holiday World Splash and Safaris, and the purple flag is a set of 4. We got a checkered flag, a yellow flag, a pink flag, and the purple flag that came throughout the water park. Like, I'm pretty sure this came off of one of the water slides right under Legend, with it being a purple flag. I know our checkered flag came off of their racing slides. I don't know where the yellow flag came from. But I'm
Really
pretty
cool.
excited because we're trying to convince them the next year to bid off some of like coaster wheels and things like that. Because I think it would be nice to get a wheel off of Voyage.
Yeah, I saw somebody came away with a huge road wheel for Storm Chaser after Keys of the Kingdom.
Oh, I'm so jealous. How did they? So I saw that they were doing giveaways, not so much giveaways, but random drawings. Can you guys go into more detail about that since you guys were there?
I didn't see anything of it. I think if you won, you got.
Well, I know they were sending you guys messages all day about it.
Yeah, but I don't know what they were giving away or anything like that.
Yeah, they were pretty much, if you bought a ticket, you were entered into some automated raffle. That's how the one lady came away with the Storm Chaser road wheel. I actually ended up winning a poster, a vintage ad poster from 1993, signed by Ed Hart.
Ooh.
I thought that was really awesome.
Oh, I saw that in the message. Zach Fuller sent me we're sending me screenshots, and I got to see that poster. I'm jealous you got that.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, it's so awesome. The KY poster gets the Kentucky Kingdom merch.
Chris, can you still hear me? I think he's still in the background.
I could hear you fine. Yeah, I can still hear you. I'm gonna connect. I connect to a different one.
Okay.
I might have you switch over and do the full controls, and then just switch over to my cell phone because I don't know how to do that.
Okay. Okay.
Why is that?
So with HoliWood Nights, back on the topic, we all know that the coasters ran trimless. What did you guys think about how the coasters ran when they were trimless? Was it better from when they were normally run? Was the 2-train off really cool?
The difference between trimmed Voyage and trimless Voyage is just there's such a large gap.
Yes, it's amazing. It's amazing on trimless Voyage. I'd say it pretty much leaves me speechless.
Yeah, I mean, you just after that triple down, you just rip through those directional airtime hills, and you feel like the coaster should not be going that fast on the track.
Right.
Oh, I know. I know. When we sat in the back of Voyage, when we got to the actual end of the coaster, you could still hear the wheels that weren't touching the track just spinning like crazy.
You can hear those up stops going mad, and that's something you don't usually hear on Voyage.
Mm-hmm. But of course, to keep everybody in mind, for anybody who doesn't know, it is completely safe for them to run the coaster like that. I know they know that, but they only have the mid-course brake run to help with hastening and to help the lifetime of the coaster last longer.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
because running
definitely
from running
Hey,
a train.
Dustin, you're getting a lot of feedback on our stream. Is there any way you could go inside or go to a place that's not giving us a lot of feedback here?
Yeah, I could try.
Or stop swinging?
Okay, so I know. Do you rank coasters normally?
What is it?
Do you normally rank coasters?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so how far up do you think each one of those coasters moved up on your list?
Voyage was already my number one, but if anything, it's like there's 1A and 1B now, like Voyage, Trimless, and then regular Voyage. Legend and Raven, I've got a new respect for Raven, especially because that was a coaster I pretty much disregarded after I got the credit. But I think both of them moved up into at least top 30 wooden coasters, top 50 at least.
Right, I know. Well, they're already high up on my list.
We're still getting that feedback even though he's offline. Okay. Apologize. Usually we don't have any of these issues, Brian. I don't know what's going on today.
Oh no, you're fine.
Good old software. Okay, what were you guys talking about now? Sorry, I just got back into the show. What coasters are we talking about now?
The three wooden coasters, respectively, trimless. How they rank compared to with trims.
And
Well,
how far and
Legends
how
is really rough. What?
and how far they moved up the list if you normally rank.
You said about feedback. I shouldn't have any feedback. Oh, you know what? No, because I have mine turned off. Hold on a second. Let me remove myself from the stream completely here. Let's see if that fixes it.
There's no feedback right now.
The feedback went away. There it is again. This is so annoying. Just keep on talking. I'll see what I can do to fix it.
Well, I know. So a big difference that I felt, Raven definitely moved up my list, and I definitely, like you said, got a lot more respect for it after I rode it at night. I mean, I really enjoyed Cornball, but I think Raven is now above Cornball on my list as a Raven night ride. Dustin probably disagrees with me, though.
What was that?
Raven's better than Cornball if it's a night ride. Like, Raven night ride is better than a Cornball ride.
Yeah. I'll have to agree with you there.
I don't know. I really enjoy Cornball.
And
It's
see,
like a bigger Cyclops to me.
I do too. Especially that first drop sitting in that back seat, and then you get that first little airtime hill. I love that, but I just like when we rode our Zen ride on Raven, pitch black, end of the night, we couldn't see anything. It turned a 45-second ride into almost a minute and a half ride because you didn't know when you were going to bottom out on the ground. You didn't know when you were going to get pulled to the right. You didn't know when you were going to go left, except for when people's iPhones watches lit up in the sky. Then you can kind of see.
Which one are you talking about? The Raven.
Raven's in ride.
Yeah, it's not a great ride in the front, but the back seat is definitely amazing on it. You get a lot of ejector off that one hill as you turn around the helix after you hit that right turn out of the right next on, and you hit another left turn, and then you hit that airtime hill. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but you're breaking up a little bit.
And then you hit that airtime. Okay. Well, I'll let you guys continue to talk. I'm going to hook to a different Wi-Fi and just pay the $5 in this complex. See if that fixes it. Right now.
Okay. Yeah, and see, what I'm stuck right now between is, okay, now with this weekend, I honestly, I love Voyage at night without trims, but I think Legend is about equal when it came just to this past weekend in the crowd level and the wait time.
Oh yeah, wait times were pretty similar, but as far as ride experience, they're two totally different animals, I think.
Oh yeah, they're two totally different animals, but I enjoyed them. That's how much I enjoyed the Legend Night ride. I enjoyed it just about as much as I did my Voyage.
Oh yeah. Overall, I definitely enjoyed both of them very much. Like I said, Legend was not nearly as rough as it usually is, flying through its layout.
And then one big thing which a lot of people don't know is normally the only two coasters that run a 2-train op is Thunderbird and Voyage. Usually Raven and Legend, when it's open to the public, only run one train. And that has just a lot to do with the fact that the trains would start stacking up on top of each other. So that's why during the day, Legend and Raven were, even though both trains were fine, that's the reason why they were running Run Train.
I didn't even know that they had enough trains to run all of them, or all three of them with 2 trains.
Mm-hmm. Yep, ever since they got that whole train issue fixed a couple years ago, they got 2 trains pretty much for every coaster now.
Yeah, I remember they sold like all of Voyages off when they thought they were going to get Timberliners on it.
And then they just
them from Raven in the meantime.
Yeah, and then they just completely axed that program idea and just went with the PTC trains. Yeah, which I love PTCs.
Yeah, I was really happy. I actually saw some video the other day of it running with Timberliners when they were testing it, and
Oh, really?
Yeah, it looked so slow going through that layout.
Well, aren't those trains pretty heavy compared to PTC trains normally?
Yeah, they're much heavier. That's why people are scared about what Gravity Group's going to do to Great Red and Maury's, because they want to put Timberliners instead of PTCs on that now.
Maybe most wooden coasters I ride have PTCs. That's weird. It's very so often that I'll get a Timberline train. Do Timberlines run smoother than PTCs?
Yeah, they're much more comfortable. It's almost like sitting in a recliner versus sitting in a sit-down chair.
And I know the one I have ridden is the Kentucky Flyer, but that's just a really kind of, it's not a real coaster with extreme force, so that's the big why I really don't know.
Yeah, Hades 360 has them.
Okay, and see, I haven't got a chance to ride that yet.
Yeah, and that's an incredibly smooth coaster for it being as tall as it is and being a wooden coaster. Another thing, the Timberliner restraints lock in place, so you're not worried the entire time about keeping your gap.
Adam, if you're still watching, can we get an explanation why you rank them that away? If you guys can't see the comments, he ranks it Raven, Voyage, then Legend. Yeah, my dad's in. Hi, Dad.
I mean, Raven is a good coaster, but like back in 2003.
Well, at night like you said, I got a definite new respect for it.
Did that Zen ride? Did they send you guys through the station, and then for another cycle, or was it just the one cycle?
Just the one cycle, but that's because we had a Thunderbird and Ravens in ride that night. So we did the Thunderbird and we rode it like 2 or 3 times, and then had to haul across the park and buy our lockers, and we didn't even get to Raven until after 11 o'clock.
So after that was Friday night, so well after park closed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we Friday we had Legend, which we did right at 10 when the ERT ended. And then they basically cleared the station. Then after they got the station cleared, we filled the train. And then we had Thunderbird Saturday, which we did first. And then we, like I said, we hauled over to Legend so we could get that in.
Yeah, unfortunately, there was about zero chance of a Zen ride on Voyage, but
Yeah, well, actually, believe it or not, when I was there Sunday morning, one couple had rode it 9 times without getting off of it. Sunday morning.
yeah, Saturday, nobody really realized that they had an hour and a half of Voyage ERT on Saturday. So they were running 2 trains with maybe 35, 40 people there. I got
Saturday morning. Yep, for coasting for kids. Yeah, that was a great ERT session.
Yeah, I love those shirts too, by the way. Get the Gravity Group logo displayed in no big bold.
Yes. And then, of course, all the nice, wonderful sponsors on the back that pop out. And then, yeah, I think because there was an hour and a half for that, and then, of course, a half an hour ERT, which they actually just ran all the way until 11 for Cheetah Chase Saturday morning before the park opened to public. Which I was surprised not many other channels did that, because it was only $50 extra for the whole team. So if you had a team of 5, you only had to pay $10 a person, and you got an extra hour and a half of ERT, and plus it all went for a good cause. I know.
I was gonna say that everybody attending the event, I didn't really see anybody of importance there that first 2 hours.
No, I know Tim, the Coaster Crew president. I know Coaster Crew was there, and they took a part in the event, and I know we did. I think we ended up raising roughly about $160 in about 2 weeks.
That's good.
Well, as soon as I found out about it, I was like, this is gonna be easy. And definitely well worth it, because of course we got the 4 shirts plus the extra ERT, and
oh yeah, more than worth it.
What were your thoughts on the weekend, Dustin?
It was a lot of fun. I was really surprised about the Legend though on the night ride. You know how I was saying I didn't want to ride it, I didn't care to ride it. Then I finally did ride it, and I was really surprised on it. It ran good. It wasn't as rough as I remembered. It was a good ride.
I know. I really wanted to win those Legend flags, but I let Zach take them. Because little known fact, Zach Fuller, that's the first ride he ever learned to operate as a ride operator at Holiday World. Chris, are you still there? Okay. Adam responded. He loves the airtime on Raven first, and then the airtime and Helix on Voyage. I was on the first Legend rides before it was open to the public, and I enjoy Legend, but it is rough. And then he goes on to say Raven is short, though. Well, if you ever get a chance, Adam, I would definitely suggest coming to HoliWood Nights because they do run the Legend without trims. And when they do that, like we've said, it is a lot smoother than what it is when they run trims. And I think you'll enjoy it a lot more than what you normally do. But I think even with everything going on this year, Holiday World did a phenomenal job hosting the event. I know there were some small things here and there that some people were unhappy with, but overall, I would say almost 90% of the community had a blast while they were there this weekend. Even with a little bit longer wait times than normal in the inline system and long waits for food, I still think. Oh, Chris is back. Hello, Chris.
Oh, what happened to Brian? Did he have to go?
He just vanished.
Let me check the thing. Maybe he left for a second.
But we've been discussing HoliWood Nights, and we really haven't gone off that yet. We were just talking about the overall experience of the event. And how
this connection fades out less, but I think what I'm going to have to do for our live feed until I move into a different place, so I'm going to have to go to Starbucks and just do the live feeds from there. Let me add Brian on here. Hey, welcome back. All right.
Hey, sorry about that. I had a little bit of a connection issue.
I'm just going to have to get headphones and a mic and just go to Starbucks because I think something's going on with where it doesn't handle live streams too much. I guess it does take up a lot of data. I'm on the park's Wi-Fi right now, so it's working a little bit better, but it's still kind of lagging a little bit.
Oh, you're still out at Holiday World?
Now I see we got Steel and Wood Riders watching.
Oh, do we? Okay.
Yeah, I just want to say hi to them and give a big shout out to them because we enjoyed getting to see them over the weekend.
Did you guys see that? It was an amazing event.
And that's what I was just saying. That's what I was just saying with the community, 90% of the community had a blast at the event, even with the long lines and the long food line. Super long food line.
I missed that because I was taking a nap. I was on an hour and a half of sleep. I started getting really bitchy and complaining against people, so I had to leave and go take a nap. Dustin was with me. He could. Okay, so you guys were talking about Raven, Thunder, or you guys were talking about Raven, Legend, and Voyage, and kind of where it moves up the list for everybody. The Raven for me, trimless. I don't know. The Raven for me kind of moved up anyways. I don't know. I just felt like it was a little bit better this year than it was in past years. But you know what I'm talking about, right? Where you hit that right turn, or you hit that right turn over by the water, then you hit another left turn, and then you have that huge ejector airtime hill that you literally stand up on it if you're sitting in the back rows on Ravens. So.
Yeah, we hit that airtime hill, and I was like, "What the heck just happened?" It's usually good, but not that good.
We should have. Which, like I said, even at night, you had no idea where you were going back in the woods. That's why, with that ride being so wooded, it honestly kind of reminded me like I was riding the Beast.
Yeah, almost like a mini Boulder
The
Dash.
drop by the Raven. That's the one in Connecticut, right?
Yeah.
Where would you put that? Where would you put that up on your list? Like towards the top for Boulder Dash?
It was like a top 5 for me last year. Then they put new PTCs on it this year, and it's not even my top 15 anymore.
Oh, so it's not as good anymore?
No, I don't know if it was because they were staggering seats, so it was only half trains, or if it was the new PTCs or early in the year or what. But we got rain rides, and those were up to par with last season. But without rain rides, it was sluggish,
Slow.
and the airtime was minimal.
Justin, you still in there with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. I don't know if you're still recovering from
It looks like
HoliWood
he's
Nights
sleeping.
still. It took me 2 days to recover from those parks. I don't know what was. I was exhausted from the weekend.
The worst part about me was my voice, but
Yeah,
it's
because
still.
because the Voyage without trims on, it's like the second half you're just really into it a lot.
Well, then we had to row those trains out of the station.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was exhausting.
you get your arms sore with all that rowing.
Mm-hmm. That, and when you're on Thunderbird, you run the train into the station. The faster you run, the faster it launches.
Yeah, I've done upwards of like 2 weeks in a row on the road at parks, and I don't think I've ever felt as beat up as I did after that second night at HoliWood Nights. I was
I know
driving home that night, and it was just like every 5 minutes I felt something else tighten up and get sore.
my wife was so beat up from it that third day on Voyage, she didn't even. She rode it once, and I was like, "Yep, I can't do it again today. I'm done."
Had to tap out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to usually get to the parks early, but I missed ERT for Keys to the Kingdom. I was so exhausted. I was like, I have to sleep in at least a little bit.
Justin's sleeping right now. Yep, he is.
You know me, I'm not much of a talker.
I know that's why we're doing these live streams. So, yeah, my favorite part on the Voyage though would have to be the second half because it barely hits that trim, and then that trip after that triple down, it's just over. It's just ball game.
Yeah, that
It just
third
hauls
twelve.
ass, and you're just actually no through this.
Yeah, my favorite part's the spaghetti bowl.
Well, even in the front row on the spaghetti bowl, you were hitting the edge of the track because you could hear it. And I've never heard it on any other row besides the two back rows doing it like that. So I bet that thing was screaming. What does it usually go? 67, 68? I bet that thing was screaming 73, 74 miles an hour that whole time. Easily,
It
I'd say
felt
that.
as fast, if not faster, than Hades. And that's like the fastest wooden coaster that I can compare it to.
Yeah, Hades, when it hits that tunnel, is roaring pretty bad. Yeah. Austin's still
park
feeling it.
at 70.
Say what?
I enjoy. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say the park
No, I'm
climbs
trying to
at
hear.
70 in that tunnel.
I like the random raindrops you get hit with in the tunnels.
Yeah, that was fun.
I got smacked in the forehead on the Voyage of the raindrop.
I gave you a little
Yeah, I
red
know.
mark.
You
Oh yeah.
still got that red mark.
No, do I?
I don't know.
Should be like right in here somewhere.
Your whole forehead looks red.
But
Looks
I know.
Like
I know.
looks like you got some sun.
I know. Carol's foot was all bruised up from the.
Yeah, she hit a bolt on the Voyage.
What a crazy week.
Yeah, I've got a few bruises on my knees, a couple cuts and scrapes.
Justin's just cracking me up over there.
there.
All right, there we go. Now we know you're awake.
Just so used to wearing them.
Justin would not ride the Ravens beds twice the whole weekend, though.
Yeah.
Hey, sorry,
I just
Dustin.
didn't really care too much for it. Although I do give it that does have a good night ride.
Hayden lost his shoe on T3.
Hang time tracer lights.
G3, oh geez.
Hey, don't disrespect T3. It is a good coaster.
It feels like it glitches through its layout, like it's running at 60 FPS or something.
Yeah, but it has inversions. Anything with inversions is good on my list.
And those restraints, I feel like I lost circulation in my legs by the end of that.
I always think I'm like flying like a little machine gun type thing.
It
With
looked
the
like
handles
almost like
right there.
arcade joysticks on the end of it.
That's such a horrible coaster.
That thing is an abomination.
Hey, T4 is going to be wonderful.
If
Yeah,
anything,
I'm gonna laugh
T4
if they don't put a Raptor in.
If anything, T4.
If they don't put a Raptor in,
Yeah, what
They're
about
just-
that announcement by Kentucky Kingdom yesterday?
It's just newer. It's going to be T4, a Vekoma, but the newer version of it.
The exact same layout.
I was gonna say,
Just
if we
mirror.
could just dismantle T3 and get a new gen Vekoma invert, I'd be just as happy with that. Put Hans Uberkoff in my backyard.
the new Vekomas are actually not that bad because we have one of them down here at one spot, and it's not bad at all. Actually, boring layout. It's not that bad.
A Dragonflyer at Dollywood. I really enjoy that.
It looks really fun. We were going to go to Dollywood a few weeks ago, but we chose Silver Dollar City over Dollywood.
I don't blame you. Yeah, I would too.
I'd
Let's see if I can bring up that overlay from what Dustin showed me. Did you up?
I'd rather ride T3
Give me a second here.
Thunder Run.
That's how I would do. I would go Storm Chaser, Lightning Run, T3, Thunder.
That's blasphemy.
Huh? Well, I love inversions. That's one thing I'm a sucker for inversions. I could care how rough it is as long as it goes in circles. I enjoy the hell out of it.
It's just wooden coasters. I've just got a thing for wooden coasters.
Yes, we know what we're talking about. Let's go over a couple different things. So we're going to go back to the coasters, but on the Thunderbird walkback, we got there's going to be a video coming out about it, but it was kind of cool to find out that there's two different flywheels that power the whole launch. Justin remembers that part of it, and then the electric room that powers the LSM launch is just ridiculously huge on it.
It looked very clean. Super, super clean. It looks like military people went through there with a toothbrush.
Yes. And one thing, when Andy took us to where they pull the trains back, that the manufacturer of the wheels they make on the wheels they make for overseas, like in what was it, India, Chris? He was talking about. They have to put a copper lining between the rubber and the wheel itself because they don't check the wheels as often as they should. So if they have a blowout, the train can still skid back to the station.
Yeah, he said he's been working on it a lot. So I guess he took over the maintenance for Thunderbird at the end of last season. So if you notice, Thunderbird does not have that rumble, kind of like what Banshee does at Kings Island anymore. And that's because he said he worked heavily on the maintenance on the wheels and the bearings and everything like that. So now you don't have that issue anymore. You don't have that bouncing effect that you did last year on Thunderbird, which I thought was kind of cool. He said that he was the main reason why it runs a lot more smoother and better this season. So he still said the maintenance is easier than the Voyage, Legend, and Raven. So
Oh, and my thing is, it's probably the easiest ride to operate there too.
as long as the electrical room's running right. But let me see if I can bring up a picture of that. Hold on a second while you guys are talking about it. I'm going to show a couple layovers on it.
And a neat little fact: when Thunderbird opened, it used to be run on a gas-powered generator. I want to say. or is ran on some special type of generator. It's different from what it is now, which is why they used to have rollbacks, and why we don't see those as much anymore with them.
You said you just went to Silver Dollar City, so you did powder keg and S&S compressed air launch. Thunderbirds almost feels exactly like a compressed air launch versus a flywheel and an LSM.
With the force that it gives out when it launches, yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea it was an LSM launch until you said that. It feels so much like a compressed air launch.
And see, I think it's, well, most people, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but it's also the first launch B&M ever did in-house. All their launch coasters up till that were done by third party.
Oh yeah, because it's more cost effective that way. But B&M's gets a lot of shit, but B&M's a very reputable company when it comes time to a lot of things.
And reliable coaster.
I think also it's Holiday World's main.
They're very reliable. Not as thrilling, but definitely reliable.
A lot of generators.
I think Thunderbird has my favorite keyhole when it comes to
Thunderbird is
coasters.
up there for me as far as B&M's top 3 at least.
Well, I think it's most of our team's favorite wing coaster.
Definitely the best wing coaster.
Yep.
HoliWood, they loosened the restraints on Wild Eagle, so that's a little better now, but I'd still put Thunderbird above it.
There's part of that electric there, and then here's the flywheels that power it. Computer screen. So as you can see, I mean, you got the block zones, El Toro Ryan. So you got block. That's station hold, station, pre-launch, launch. Looks like there's 4 block zones. That's more advanced than the Cornball Express, isn't it, Dustin?
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit.
And like I was saying earlier, it's all the ride operators say it's one of the easiest rides to operate there. And one of the big factors for that is the fact that they don't have to bend over to check restraints. They just get a stick and move on to the next row.
Bending over all day checking restraints kind of sucks.
Huh?
Say bending over checking restraints all day sucks.
Bad on that lower back.
Especially those like harder intimate ones that have like a lot of force. You gotta put a lot of pressure to get them down.
Who's stable? I want to say. Oh, it wasn't here. Never mind. Those gravity group restraints are. I hate those restraints. So annoying. Because it's based off of how big your chest size is. So if you have a bigger chest, you can't push them down. So I'm kind of glad that Holiday World didn't do that. I think the Timberliner. Hold on a second. I'm going to mute him while he's offline.
I'm still here.
Yeah, I was just telling Jacob earlier, I saw some video for when they were testing the Timberliner trains, and that thing crawled through its layout, and especially that second half.
Do you think that Mind Blower would run better with PTC trains? I think it has to have those Timberliner trains.
I don't know. Boardwalk Bullet is really similar as far as size down in Houston, and they run many PTC trains instead of Timberliners. I feel like that it's a better experience in PTCs versus Timberliners. It feels more like a traditional wooden coaster versus something that's glammed up and so comfortable.
Funny, I'm looking at this live stream, and I think, Jacob, you're the only one that looks professional with your headphones and your backdrop over there.
Hey, I'm so professional. PlayStation.
That's funny. Let's go into the Gobbler Getaway one. Now we're out of that one. Yeah, you could tell us all about this, or Annika can, since she's commenting below here.
I think we both enjoyed that tour. I mean, I know it's one of her favorite dark rides. We got a chance to walk through it, lights on. It was just really cool to see all the animatronics, and kind of creepy to find out that underneath a lot of things, there's just nothing but wires and like creepy animatronics. The grandma out front, underneath her dress is really nothing but wires and things like that.
You would look underneath her dress.
No, we didn't look. That was I got that from a ride operator.
Okay.
My wife, they didn't know exactly how many turkeys and how many targets were in there off the top of her head. So my wife on Saturday, when she had your youngest, they rode it 8 times. She counted 146 turkeys total and 77 targets on both walls and roof.
177 targets?
No, just 77 targets, 146 turkeys.
I mean, it's not a bad. I guess it's not a bad dark ride. It could be worse, right?
No, it's a great. My opinion on a dark ride, if you can ride it and it's all the sensors are working consistently, that automatically makes it a great dark ride. Because how many times have we gone on Boo Blasters and things like that, and half the sensors don't work?
That's because the IT department that park stinks. So I know we have to watch what we say, but I mean, you look at their Wi-Fi internet; it's not even that good at that park. Boo Blasters, a couple other things at that park that you could definitely tell their IT department's not that great. Because you have one IT guy over at Indiana Beach that handles everything. Stuff runs flawless. Like even their ride sensors are flawless on Den of the Lost Thieves, and it's from '98. It's still running better than Boo Blasters, which I think it's like 2006, like that.
And see, other than Gobbler Getaway, Den of Lost Thieves, the only other dark ride we've been on where the sensors have always worked is the one at Silver Dollar City.
Which I didn't even know they had one.
Oh, and it's cool.
I guess I was too focused on posters.
It's cool because I don't know if you've been on it. I know Dustin hasn't been on it, but it's a boat ride. It's a shooting dark ride on a boat.
Have you been on it, Brian?
I've been to the park like maybe 10 times over the last 3 years. I didn't even know that thing existed.
That's what I'm saying. Where is this thing at?
I think it's just left of Time Traveler.
Really?
It kind of just tucked away, and most of it's inside, but water shoots out. Water shoots out on the outside.
That's prime real estate. I can't believe I've never noticed that.
Chris, if you could find a POV, that's what I would pull up.
Flooded Mine Dark Ride?
Yep, Flooded Mine Dark Ride. And yeah, it's a prisoner-based theme, like you're trying to go after the prisoners that are escaping from the mine.
Let me bring it up. Carpetbagger has. Hold on.
Multiple screens.
This isn't looking. How did it get on that one? Gotta love it.
For troublemakers, malcontents, and lollygaggers.
Does this look familiar, Jacob?
Yep. Well, not this, but yeah.
It's Jacob the Carpetbagger. He's a good guy. Yeah. How did I not
The
see
warden's
this?
name is No Parole.
This thing looks
It's a
huge.
bad sign.
Yeah, you got a smile off of your
What the
face.
hell?
You won't last a month of hard labor.
What a mean jerk.
Hey, prisoner, you got put in here for spitting in public.
Let me mute his commentary.
Spitting in public.
But that right there is one of the employees in front of you who seats you. And what's cool about it is each ride, the employees dress the theme of the ride. So, of course, it's a prison ride. They're
What
the
the hell?
Shooting at this
prisoners running the ride.
Guy. Right, so I guess this is my prisoner shooting gun. So I can shoot this guy right here.
How did I not see this when I was there? This is like nice theming too.
And all the things on the inside of it work.
Looks like the officer is sleeping.
What in the world? This is a strange dark ride.
Looks like he's drilling.
Oh my god, what the heck is going on here? Alright. That is the most odd shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's a really unique shooting ride. That's one of the reasons why I like it.
You've never heard of Jacob the Carpetbagger? Yeah, he travels all around. He's kind of like Adam, but he does a really good job on the haunted houses across the country.
I like his name.
He's kind of
Carpetbagger. I don't know where he gets that nickname from.
I was talking about the Jacob.
Oh. You're talking about the what?
The Jacob part of his name.
Oh, yeah, whatever. Let me see if we can remove this. Yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. But we're going to go into something else real fast, and we're going to go back to Keys to the Kingdom. So there's something out right now called Cancel Kentucky Kingdom because there was this guy. I'm not going to name his name. Everybody knows this crap. So I'm hearing two sides of the story. So one person that was with him said he got out of line for like 30 seconds to get the video and then went back in line to the group. I guess the whole thing is that Kentucky Kingdom didn't listen to what his side of the story was and just gave him the thing and escorted him out of the park for the day. But there's this big thing going on right now called Cancel Kentucky Kingdom because I guess this guy was kicked out of the event and he's from what, California? Goes by the name of Bush Studios, I think.
Florida.
And you're right. I'm gonna message you, Brian, because I don't want to give out her. But Kentucky Kingdom does have a policy, and Brian can concur on that, that if you step out of line, you're supposed to go to the back of the line. So if that's the case and they asked him to do that, then he should have just did that and just, went about his business. It stinks, but it's better than getting kicked out of the park because of it. Because I only know of two parks that do that. Kentucky Kingdom's one of them, and I think the only other park that would have done something like that is maybe like, I don't know. I've never been in a park that actually enforces that stuff. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've never seen anybody actually removed from a park for line jumping up until that event.
They could just be running a little stricter with the previous events that happened this season, though.
I was gonna say we've had a lot of events at the park
Well, not so much those types of events. The incidents that have happened outside the gates, and
Yeah. Yeah, we had almost, I think it was like a 30-person brawl earlier
Mhm.
in the parking lot. We've got a lot of security in the park because of the issues of line jumping and everything like that.
Yeah, I just think it's ridiculous that the community is trying to say, well, Kentucky Kingdom needs to get canceled because of one incident. I think that the park and the guy that it happened to should contact each other and keep it offline. I think that's a little ridiculous that you're trying to get a park ban but also I could understand kind of his side of the story if he wasn't able to present what happened and they didn't listen to his side. That's another issue too. But that's a totally separate department. Then who's the main person that we deal with all the time, Jacob, over there? What's her name? She's basically the one that organizes all the events.
Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse and Jefferson is who we deal with the majority of the time. We've never had any issues on that side of the park. Public safety is a totally separate issue from those guys, so you can't. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they're going to answer this guy and deal with the situation, but
My opinion, I would have just agreed with it and then dealt with it, found a representative in the park, talked to them about it, and they probably would have just gave him a free skip the line if it was a complete accident.
Well,
I
that's
mean,
I sat there and watched this scenario play out. He was visually irate with the public safety guard. I think if you just apologize and carry on and follow procedure, it doesn't end the way it does.
well, there you go. Then if he was being irate about it, then he deserves to get escorted out of the park.
yeah, you got to be respectful.
I can't count how many times I've had ride operators tell me something and then you disagree with them and then just run your mouth to yourself outside and get off the ride.
I believe there was a little bit of embellishing on his part as far as the story as well, because there were two incidents of where there was line jumping. He got off the ride and saw two of his friends in line and decided to cut back into line with them. And then it was the second time that he's talking about where he stepped out of line after originally cutting to get photos and got back in line.
Storm Chaser does not take that long. Every time I've been there, I think the most I've ever waited for that coaster is 10 minutes. So if you can't wait 10 minutes, yeah.
Exactly.
And they were running 2 trains, so I don't know. I did not see anybody that was at the event say anything about it. The only people that said anything about it were like the people from other Instagram pages, which we all know unfortunately, a lot of people in our community are dramatic and think they're owed stuff because they're enthusiasts. And then, but I didn't see anything from you, from Mr. Studios, from Midway Mayhem. I didn't see anything from anybody. I didn't even see anything from BK Photo Page. Like the main people that I would have thought would have spoke out about something if they found that it was wrong. And if they didn't do it, I feel like, and you didn't say anything was wrong about it, I feel like this has totally been blown out of proportion.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you notice, all the cancel Kentucky Kingdom posts are majority his followers, people that weren't even at the event or really probably wouldn't have even came to Kentucky Kingdom in the first place.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know about it till I got a message from a ride operator at Holiday World about it.
Well, these are the same people that were complaining because they had a beer pong tournament and a park that has a beer garden, and this was planned way ahead of time. I mean, we've never had any problems with them. Say what?
Sometimes you just gotta let people live. I mean, enjoy yourself, enjoy the event.
I saw people complaining about HoliWood Nights when they were there. So.
Oh, but some people complain, but 90% of the majority love the weekend and are ready to come back next year. I know we are.
Yeah.
You're always gonna get that 5% that wants to find something negative.
And like Leah says, you can't always please everybody,
Exactly.
but you can at least do the best you can.
We'll get Dustin. Are you ready? Get you and Brian to kind of talk about the Keys of the Kingdom event, how that went, and what your favorite things about it were, kind of what the highlights were of the event.
Go ahead, Brian. I'm not a talker at all.
It was almost like a complete polar opposite of Holiday World, HoliWood Nights. It was very relaxed. You didn't feel rushed to do anything. The walkbacks were really cool perks. They completely trolled us with the whole T4 train thing, though.
Yes. Got me for a second. Then
It was 100% a troll job. There was no train anywhere near there.
Quick question for you guys. I know clearly there's big differences with the winter walkthrough and the Keys to the Kingdom event, but did you guys feel like they were similar type events? Did you guys kind of see the same things that you did in the winter, but when it's going on during the summer?
It seemed similar to me. Out of that, Brian.
I was gonna say, yeah, it seemed very like a very similar deal. Maybe not as in depth. You didn't have as much time to go over everything, but very similar.
The food was probably better.
Yeah, Kentucky Kingdom stepped up their game with their food. That's the only thing. That was much better than what Holiday World was serving.
Well, and my understanding with Holiday World's issue with the food this year is they were trying to abide by the COVID rules. So they were trying to do something a buffet style, but they also didn't have enough people to prepare the food as nicely as they wanted. So they had to kind of change what products they were serving.
Yeah, the weirdest food at that event was that the tater tots with pulled pork and cheese. I was like, that's the weirdest concept.
That was so good though.
It was.
I was gonna say, did they just have like a surplus of tater tots left over, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna throw these up."
Well, my understanding of the big feast, which of course this was all our first year, but in past years, I guess they would just like line the table up buffet style, and you were just able to go and grab whatever you want. But they tried to kind of keep that similar feel this year, but they couldn't. They tried the best they could, and that's what caused the long lines. Was the lines usually move a little bit quicker when you're grabbing your own stuff compared to when somebody's having to wait to be told, "I want this, 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 and this. What kind of would you like? A thigh, a leg, a breast, so on and so forth."
There was chicken. When was this happening?
The feast.
When you were taking a nap.
Yeah, when you were taking your nap.
Yeah, because everybody said the food wasn't good, so I just stayed at the hotel and took a 30-minute nap.
The chicken was dry.
The feast was the most disappointing meal of the weekend, unfortunately. The hors d'oeuvres were spot. They were the best hors d'oeuvres I had ever had. Especially that delicious, it was like a ham and cheese sandwich in between French toast. That was wonderful.
Yeah, I heard so there was some good stuff in there Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I missed Friday, but
and see, Friday I felt like they had that plenty of time to get everything ready, and because one thing a lot of people don't know is Saturday they also had a company event there as well that they had to host.
Okay, that explains that.
And they were in the exact same area where we had our dinner, right all the way up to the park closed.
They should have just moved the event to October and just let the enthusiasts have the park for those 2 days.
Yeah, I don't understand why they did the company picnic and the event on the same weekend.
Well, I'm assuming that was probably the best weekend for them to plan it. And I think the company picnic was already booked way in advance. They just didn't think they were going to have 900 to 1,000 people show up for our event. I think that's what threw them off. Because imagine how many people, like you said, Jeremy processed how many season passes in that last week?
100 just for the HoliWood night.
So, I mean, imagine if it was like that across the board in that last week. You have 500 or 600 people right there.
We had
across
1,000.
I talked to like Chris and Mike and all them. They said it was maybe 200-300% increase from last year.
Mm-hmm. And it's just because it's the only real, other than Kentucky Kingdom's event they just did, that's the only real coaster enthusiast event going on
Yeah, everything
this
else
year.
was canceled or pushed off.
Mm-hmm.
I wish Kentucky Kingdom was having their Halloween event this year again, though, because I know the food we got to have last year during their event was amazing. Like, that food was the best food I've ever had at the theme park.
Oh, dude, those
Tacos
drinks,
last year.
those cocktails were fire.
Oh, I was talking about the tacos that they had last year for the Han event at Kentucky Kingdom were amazing. They were like stuffed tacos, and then they had it was so good.
Yeah, I'm really upset they did away with the Halloween event this year. That last year was their first year, and I think they did really good with it.
And see, what was going to be cool this year was last year they had a third-party company do it. This year they were going to go all in-house.
Here you go. You disappeared on us again.
But yeah, Kentucky Kingdom was going to go all in-house when it was going to come to their haunted house event this year, their haunt event.
Well, obviously they're going to have a media event for the release of the new coaster. I bet we get that 3 weeks. I bet we get an invite out there for it. They're not going to do it Labor Day weekend, so next week.
I'm excited for the Hilcoma.
God. If it's not a Raptor, there's going to be a lot of...
Right, there will be bloodshed if it's not a Raptor.
I am just happy they're getting something new.
Trying to find this video. Let me see if I can find this video that Dustin sent yesterday from Kentucky Kingdom. Ed Hart was talking something about something. Well, let me see if I can find it. I'm gonna
I
play
love
it.
Ed Hart. He's a really cool guy.
He was saying some crazy stuff, so I'm trying to see if I can find it real fast.
Well, remember what I told him? Remember her discussion that I had with him at the walkthrough? And how when he suggested for a new coaster, I suggested Raptor.
Well,
He loved my idea for it. Huh?
I was looking at that plot of land. It looks really small to get a Raptor in there.
I think they'll probably wrap it around and it's going to intertwine with Storm Chaser somehow, because doesn't that kind of Storm Chaser butt up right to it almost?
Yeah, they almost, yeah.
So I think it's going to go into that plot area somehow as a turnaround area.
Hey, I'm gonna kick it in the screen share real fast here and play this clip from Ed Hart that Dustin caught. So let's hear what he has to say here. I'm gonna play this so you guys can. Over here. All right.
Welcome, Susie. It's a pleasure to have you here at the inaugural event at Kentucky Kingdom, the Keys to the Kingdom, and we intend to make this event bigger and bigger every single year, much like we built a small 10-acre park into the 63-acre park it is today. During my time operating and managing 3 theme parks, representing twice the Magic Springs, I've had the pleasure of selecting, paying for, and installing 16 roller coasters. The great irony, of course, is that I do not ride coasters because I have motion sickness. But that doesn't stop me from being enthusiastic about coasters. I bet a number of you in this audience would like my job, not because you want to operate a theme park, it's because you want to select the rides that are great for enthusiasts. Of course, I have to worry about GP, you have to worry about enthusiasts, and I don't know where that would take us, but we have a lot of fun. Can anybody guess what my favorite coaster was, or is?
Not DP. People.
No. Who said Chang? Chang is and always will be my favorite. And can I share with you the backstory on Chang? So it's 1995. You know, Chang went in 1997. It's 1995. We just brought in our suspended looping coaster T2. Hey, by the way, on that subject, you're still on? On that subject, you know, one of our mischievous folks is Jefferson, who runs our social media page. And I do believe before the day is out, he might just take you to Area 51 where he hides T4. I can't guarantee that, but. And also, let's thank Carly, Jefferson, and Jesse for putting this event together. Back to Chang. So it's 1995. We just put in our first suspended looping coaster, T2, at that time. Is this working? Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
And I really wanted something to be a signature for our new branding, which was Kentucky, the thrill park. So I wanted something really big. So I went over to Switzerland to meet with Walter Bollinger of B&M. And while we're sitting by Lake Geneva, I had to convince Walter to sell me the stand-up B&M roller coaster. $15 million that I had to convince him, because at that time, and I think frankly today it's still true, B&M only makes about 4 coasters a year. And he wasn't sure if he wanted to take a risk on a really small park compared to all the big parks he was supplying, because like any manufacturer, he wanted the word to go out about his coasters. But he took a chance on us, and it worked. As part of my due diligence, I called Dick Kinzel at Cedar Point, that time known as the coastal capital of the world. And I said, Dick, tell me about stand-up roller coasters. You have the quickest one in the world. Is the good rod any issue? Blah, 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 blah. And Dick said, Ed, listen, your coaster is going to be smaller than ours, so you don't have to worry about this, this, and this. And I said, Dick, it's actually going to be bigger. First time has ever been featured. The story continued. When we bought this new stand-up roller coaster that would represent Kentucky Kingdom. So we needed a really good name. Now at that time, you didn't have all the graphic capabilities we have today to do animation and all that, so you could sort of recreate the ride for purposes of a marketing campaign. And I'm a movie buff, and my partner Ryan Factor made 12 feature films. We were fortunate. But I'm a movie buff, and one of my favorite movies of all time was the original King Kong. I don't know if you've seen that in black and white.
You guys still with me?
Yep, I'm here.
There's another part to this one. This one I don't think is as long.
There's this wonderful scene where the trees start to shake. Nobody sees the giant beast yet. All you see is shaking trees, and the natives are chanting, "Come, come, come." And I said, man, that's the sort of energy we need for our ride. And that's where Chang came from. And our ad simply had a giant sumo wrestler walking ominously towards the screen with the words Chang, you're never too big to be afraid. That commercial derived in our initiative to be the biggest, to support the notion of Kentucky King and the Thrill Park. I think we had the biggest increase in the history of theme parks. That year we increased our attendance 400,000, which even for giant parks is quite extraordinary. They all came together, and for that reason, Chang has always been my favorite coach. It's just a shame it's still not here. I know you're anxious. I hope you don't have any Voyage headaches out there, but I know you're anxious.
It's like he's hinting at something, so that's why I kind of wanted to bring that up. I feel like he. Oh, sorry about that. I think he's hinting at something with that. I just brought him in. There we go. I don't know if you. Well, you got to see that. You got to see that live. So I think he's hinting that there's going to be a big announcement coaster, and there's going to be a commercial for it.
Yeah, they indicated it during the backstage tour that there would be an official media day and that we should receive an invite to that.
Okay. Dustin went down on it. Dustin.
There he is. He's here.
All right. Yeah, because like you said,
Marking Dustin.
Like you said, Brian, I think it's kind of weird that he mentioned Chang. So we're talking about it at Roller Coaster Enthusiast event, and he's saying the biggest coaster announcement and the biggest coaster to the park is Chang, but he's announcing it in reference to this new coaster. So I feel like maybe this new coaster is bigger than what they released.
What?
Like you said, that spot for the Raptor, they're gonna have to move that Larson something to fit it in there, or else you're gonna have. I don't know how they're gonna do it. That's such a small.
They're gonna put it behind.
It looks like it's got the length, but not the width. It looks like such a small pot of land to fit a Raptor in there, plus a queue and switchbacks.
Yeah, I would think they would remove the Larson loop and put it somewhere else, because I would think they could put new supports up for that one. That wouldn't be that hard.
You've got that whole midway there to work with, and you're letting space be cluttered by stadium seating and a Larson loop.
One thing I want to say about Chang is I love how they took a chance on it.
Well, yeah, but he's hinting at something. I think whatever they're planning on putting in the park is a huge, like, to me, a Raptor is not a huge investment because it's only like $8 million.
Now, what about this? With Chance, they took a very big risk to build what they did with them. What if it's kind of the same situation where they're going to get something that's going to maybe be a first of its kind in the Midwest?
Maybe a launch Raptor? I hope not, because RMC's.
There was a big rumor before Kentucky Fire was added that there was going to be a B&M Hyper, because there is one part in the park that can go up to 200 feet.
What part is that?
I think it's back in the left by the water park.
Well, and one thing he specifically, this I remember, he specifically mentioned in the winter walkthrough that when they built Storm Chaser, they had to actually have the airport move flight paths so they could get the height to where it was.
Really?
So they've worked with them in the past on changing things like that. So there's a possibility that they can have that changed as well in the future in certain areas of the park. That's a good question.
I'm looking up the DGI map on it because it shows how the map looks like right now.
I don't know where it was, but I'm assuming it would have been over by Lightning Run.
Yeah, I don't remember specifically where it was, but I think it was like 190. The rumor was it was 195 feet, and they could dig for the extra 5 feet.
I'm going to bring it up on the screen here so you guys kind of look at this. I don't know if you guys can see. I'm going to zoom in here.
It's a map. 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 There's your intro song, Chris.
I don't know what this. I wanted to see the. Never mind. I'm gonna
just type in the year.
Well, I looked at the map and there was like a little skinny part in the middle of the map, and I think it's where he's talking about over by the kind of the wave pool area. But man, those planes are. That's the disadvantage of Kentucky Kingdom, though. But they could also have the planes approach from a different direction, so they're not having to fly next to the park deck.
That's one sad thing is it's set up like Elitch Gardens to where it's right in the middle of the city, but it's got much more potential than Elitch Gardens. And it just feels like they're being held back between the airport and the fair board.
Well, the state of Kentucky has never been really supportive. They have something against Ed Parks. So I think that's another issue as well. Because I think it has to be Kentucky Airport Commission mixed with the FAA, mixed with Kentucky Kingdom. I think that's where the issue might be.
Well,
Which I don't understand.
Last year, they were trying to block, the fairgrounds were trying to block Kentucky Flyer because part of it expanded into fairgrounds land.
They just need to give them that whole parking lot that's behind.
But they are. That's why they repaved all that. That's the plan.
Put a brand new coaster right there. Ta-da!
I think eventually we'll see the convention center move to give Kentucky Kingdom all of that land.
I think Kentucky will build a brand new convention center that's going to be twice as big as what it is now.
Exactly, and just give Kentucky all of that land because the way they're expanding since Ed Hart took over, it's just been an exponential rate, and there's so much profit that they could make off that park.
What's your guys' opinion of Kentucky Kingdom, those that are watching? Have you guys ever been there? What's your opinion on it? What do you think needs to be added to the park to kind of make it kind of stand out at the parks in the Midwest? Because in my opinion, I think it has a solid coaster lineup, and I actually enjoy riding the coasters there more so than I do at places like Kings Island, places like that.
I would like to see a Raptor, but if it's not a Raptor, I could definitely see them going with a compact, maybe a new style compact. Is it Vekoma who's making all those new compact coasters?
Yeah,
Layouts.
the Shockwave and all that.
There's a possible. That's maybe why they're teasing T4 so much, because maybe it's just going to be a new compact Vekoma that's going to be like the racing model, for example. Just throwing out random examples. I know that's probably too wide for that kind of space, but
did you guys see the hints that they left in the workshop?
I was not there.
Okay, so they had two envelopes, and in one envelope was an empty package of Reese's mini cups, and in the other envelope was a big notepad and a mini notepad.
Huh.
I don't know if that could mean Vekoma family suspended coaster. Replicas, one big, one little.
Maybe. we all know Jefferson's really good at trolling people. So if he could, they could have released that documentation, and then they could be changing the type of coaster with the same type of dimensions.
That's another thing. That's a park for enthusiasts ran by enthusiasts, so they really know how to troll us.
Jefferson's really good at that. I wonder, that'd be cool if we could get him on here one day just to talk about the park.
You can tell all those people that run that park are just coaster nerds like we are.
I agree. Didn't they try? They tried the T3 thing last year, and I know Jefferson messed him up real bad when they did the 30 rides in a row.
Oh, I wish they would let me do that. I would go for 50.
You lose your legs.
Nah.
Yeah.
The circulation would be gone.
Nah. If they ever watch
He
this,
said no.
I'm up for the challenge.
Well, they call
we'll set a world record.
They call Sky Rush Thigh Rush, but I would have to disagree.
Sky Rush is amazing.
I would have to say T3. T3 destroyed my thighs more than Sky Rush ever did.
I love Sky Rush, and according to RCDB, it would be my favorite wing coaster, but it's my favorite type of that, whatever you want to call it, coaster.
We'll call it a hybrid wing / sit-down coaster. Intamin's always trying to throw things out there.
That's how they honestly classify it, because in one section they classify it as a sit-down, and then the other section they call it a wing coaster.
Do you think Holiday World adds anything next year? I think they do. They made their money back this year.
I don't know.
I'd like to see them get a small coaster edition where Pilgrim's Plunge used to be. I'm tired of seeing that land empty.
Yes, which I know a lot of people are. Of course, everybody, a Max Splash would be nice there. But I think, honestly, if we were to get, what I would like to see, I know this is dreaming here, but what I would like to see them get is something like Time Traveler. It would fit great.
Or even just the mock Skyloop, the Premier Rides version.
Mm-hmm.
Or Skyrocket 2 version.
How much of one of those water coasters cost? Because this Rocket Blast technology that's at Holiday World, how much do you think that water coaster actually costs the park? $3 million, maybe $4 million?
What, Cheetah Chase?
Yeah, I don't think water coasters cost all that much.
I feel like we could see potentially a family gravity group Woody going there too.
Kind of like what Kentucky Kingdom kind of added.
Yeah, because that's one gap they're missing in their lineup. They don't have a family coaster really.
No, unless they consider Raven a family coaster. Can't because of the height requirement. It's still 48 inches.
I was going to say, we've never brought Bean to Holiday World solely because every coaster is 48 inches.
Well, it seems like they invest more in the water park, and I could see because they've had to make their investment back in Thunderbird already. It was $22 million, but that was in 2014. That's been that'll be 7 years in 2021. If you look at the additions, 95, 2000, 2006 for the Wooded.
For Cheetah Chase, they spent approximately $7 million.
$7 million on that?
Wow.
Seems like a rip off to me, but
with a total investment of approximately $7 million, Cheetah Chase is the world's first circuit racing water coaster. It will travel at 30 feet per second. Will have the tallest Rocket Blast section in the world, 27 feet tall.
Pro Slide's ripping them off, huh?
And that's coming straight from the Holiday World blog.
I didn't think it was that good of an addition. Why?
I love it. I mean, it's short and it's unique, but it's a great addition. I mean, they have a super long water coaster now. Then they have their medium length water coaster, and then they have their fast, quick water coaster. You have airtime, speed.
Yeah, but you can feel every single bump on that Cheetah Chase, and that's the problem I have with it.
It's a great compliment, but I don't think it was worth $7 million a compliment.
They're paying for the new technology, I think, more so than the water coaster. They're trying to be the first to have it, and unfortunately, they added it in this year. Tended to be I still think Indiana Beach and Holiday World probably capitalized really good off of this year, because in the region you had all these different parks closed, and now you have a new owner there. I think Kentucky Kingdom's still rebounding from people not realizing that Six Flags doesn't own it anymore, and I think that's still hurting the overall.
Well, one reason why I like Cheetah Chase is because you're getting launched upwards, and of course, one thing I look for is getting drenched, because there are rides we go on that are supposed to be water rides, and you don't get wet.
Yeah.
You get
It's
soaked.
Are you talking about the big waterfall that hits you after each drop, basically?
Well, no. When you ride in the back, waves upon waves come crashing on you from behind, and you
Oh yeah,
really
I rode
don't.
back. I rode the back every time, but I also felt every single drop too, because the raft's not that padded underneath.
Which that'll probably change over the years. I mean, look how padded from the start to what they are now for the other two.
And I think Mammoth is my favorite there, just because I like being launched as fast as it does all the time. We already talked about this, but the Legend. Okay, so you guys were talking about it. So the Legend for me moved up, and I think Chris from Airtime Thrills also agreed with me on this as well. He said the Legend was like not even on his top list, and after writing a trim list, it like moved it up too. It's just I don't know what happened, but I didn't even want to go on that night ride when you guys went, but after riding it a couple times on Friday, I actually liked it almost the same as the Voyage, to be honest.
Yeah, I
See,
was gonna say originally I didn't want to waste any time going up front to Legend and Raven, but I ended up doing Legend, and it was just a totally different animal than how it usually runs.
And
I like that double helix. Is
Yeah.
it a double helix? Yeah, it's a double helix.
That's an
Oh, wait.
Untitled Chapter.
Because you hit that one helix and you're like, holy crap, that was hard. I'm glad that's over. And then that next helix comes up and you're just like, holy crap, here we go again.
It feels like it goes forever.
And you can't hold your body weight up either. Buckets
Nope.
of water.
You're just like, oh, I'll just take this.
You guys have ever been to Kennywood? It reminds me of Thunderbolt, but more extreme.
Hold on a second. You sent a map to me. I don't know what I think he's talking about. Hold on a second.
It's the old map where it used to be. Chang used to be to the left of the water park, kind of where it looks like the go-kart track used to be, and where our Kentucky Flyer is sitting.
Yeah, you're right. Chang used to be in that spot.
Ooh, they used to have Papa John's?
Oh, yeah. Papa John is from Louisville, Kentucky.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he stole his recipe from his buddy, but that's a different story.
I eat Greeks. I don't eat Papa John's.
There you go. You kind of see the layout here. Let me take the banner off so he could see it as well. Here is, so you look the upper left, kind of like what he's talking about. You would have our Kentucky Flyers at, then the go-kart track, T3 or T2 as it was called back then. What's that one next to the right of it? What does that say? That used to be a suspended coaster, or what was that? The Rango, or what does that say? The one that's in the center top. What does that say?
They used to have. It might have been the boomerang. They had a boomerang there as well.
Okay. Twisted Twins. I think it's kind of funny on their whitewater raft ride that they still have the theming for penguin. So Six Flags is still at the park.
I was gonna say you can definitely still see Six Flags' touch here and there.
I don't know what Jacob's doing. This video went out. I'm trying to think what else we can talk about here before I know he has to go here. So we wrote that. We said that in my opinion, it was Voyage, Legend, Raven, Thunderbird. Those are my top four, like in that order. Would you agree on that? The Voyage, Legend, Raven, and then Thunderbird for HoliWood Nights.
No.
For HoliWood Nights, yeah.
What would you rate? Let me guess. Legend number one? Jacob?
No, I would go, but this is just because I'm just that big of a fan of Thunderbird. It would be Voyage, Legend, Thunderbird, Raven.
Huh.
And
I
it's
was underwhelmed with Thunderbird.
well, you know what I take into accountability is the fact of how many times I could just write it and write it and write it and write it without having to get off because of the weight. I take that and count with all my rides, and that's one reason why I put that above Raven. Because I could literally sit in my seat, hop off, go to row 2, hop off, go back to row 1, go to row 6 without walking around the station.
So you're basing it off that you could write it over and over again.
That's the only reason why I put it right above Raven right now.
I hate walking up that hill. They need to invest in Holiday World if they're listening. They need to put a sky ride from Thunderbird down to Voyage, so we don't have to go up that hill anymore.
Dude, with that, if they didn't need that cornfield for their corn maze, they could do so much. So much.
They don't need it.
Well,
corn mazes are lame anyways.
Well, they use it for all their corn for their haunt event, and then whatever they actually sell the corn too, which is cool. I didn't know that. Indeed. They sell the corn and then use the stalks for their corn things.
All right, boring Indiana talk. All right.
Hey, all we have is corn.
Yeah, I know, but I think eventually the park needs to sell alcohol. I hate to say that, but they need to do something else. The family-friendly thing's cool and all, but I think it would just add. Well, I guess you can't over there. Let's see. Actually, the Halloween area would be perfect for that. But it's a family park. I don't think.
I was almost positive you could get beer in some of the restaurants going in. I didn't find anything at the park.
No, you can drink in the county. You just can't drink. The park is a family-friendly, alcohol-free park. No alcohol, no drugs.
See, I always thought that they had beer that you could purchase in the restaurants. It just couldn't leave the restaurants.
I don't think so.
Yeah. I was going to say, I couldn't find anything while I was there.
But we learned if you parked in the Legend parking lot, you can tailgate.
Exactly. Yeah, I had a few different groups that I went with, and one of the groups was like, well, why didn't you park over here, near the park? And I was like, well, there's no security in the Legend parking lot.
Yeah. Oh.
What did you say?
Haley. What? Who, Dustin?
No, you just have to worry about I don't know why there's not really a lot of alligators out here. Let's see here. I'll see there. Get off of here in a minute. I'm looking at this rally race. I'm looking at this rally race here that Pro Slides has. I really think that's better than the mat slide they have currently at Holiday World.
Well, I think hold on. There you go, Ray.
What?
I accidentally locked my dog in here with me. I don't know. I think they took a chance with the ride and it came out successful. I mean, it launches up with just water. I don't think they use magnets, which is cool. Which we've seen somebody not make it up that lift. It was quite funny. They got almost up and just kind of paused and just slid on back down and kind of valleyed out.
cheetah chase.
Yeah. I think I got it on video.
It doesn't help that the water park industry, Pro Slides, owns it.
Yeah, there's
Somebody else needs to come out and compete with those guys.
They do good. They do good at what they do, just like Sally does.
Well, Intamin tried and they failed miserably at what was that Pilgrim's Plunge, and they have what's the new one that came out? The Rocking Boat, or is that Mac I'm thinking of? Mac Rocking Boat. You don't even know what I'm talking about, dude.
I don't pay attention to water rides.
I know Mac did the one at Silver Dollar City. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but
Which one was that?
oh, the new one, Mystic River Falls.
Oh, they're the ones that helped him with that, with the lift hill and stuff.
Yeah, they did design.
It feels a lot safer than Pilgrim Plunges. I'll tell you that. I hate it. It's like going up a drop tower for me. I hated it when I did it once.
Pilgrim's Plunge was the biggest disappointment of a water drop ride that I've ever been on. You didn't even get wet at all, like zero. What else we got here? So Kentucky Kingdom. I think here we go. Funny T4 gags at Kentucky Kingdom.
They had a T4 sign, impromptu T4 sign made out of wood, laying by a tree on the Thunder Run walk back. I thought that was funny.
They are also officially selling T4 shirts.
Yeah.
On Teespring.
Jefferson was walking around in a T4 shirt.
Yep, they officially went up for sale today on Teespring.
Did they really?
Yep.
I want a Dan portrait shirt because I thought that was pretty funny. Might need to buy one.
Well,
where are you seeing it at Teespring?
Kentucky Kingdom made an official post. It was either on their Twitter or it was on their Facebook earlier today, linking you to their Teespring, and it's right there.
I didn't even know they had a Teespring account.
I think they just created it for the shirt, or they may have had a Teespring. I don't know.
Let me look this up now. Now you got me.
What if T4 is literally just tearing down T3 and using new style Vekoma track?
That I would be okay with that. Get a whole new Vekoma, yeah.
Kind of like what Maury's did with Nor'easter.
I don't think Kentucky Kingdom had. Where did you see this at? There you go. Twitter?
It could have been.
Is it there? I can't find it on there.
Well, I was on looking at their. Yeah, it's on their Twitter.
Jefferson's just trolling people.
No, it's everything's gonna go to give kids the World Foundation. It's all for charity. The shirts are all for even more charities. We gave to 2 charities last weekend. Yeah, I'm feeling good.
Oh yeah, and Taylor and Sarah are doing a good job trolling people too on their stuff. I'm gonna find. Hold on.
Yeah, those are probably up there for a limited time. I'm definitely gonna grab one.
Mm-hmm.
Be a cool piece.
Oh, here it is.
5-10 years from now.
I found it. Here, let me screenshot. Here, let me show you.
They look nice. I like the gray.
There you go. $20.
Yeah, surprisingly, I don't have a Kentucky Kingdom shirt yet.
Really?
I want a flyer shirt. I think that's what I'll end up getting.
Other than shirts, I like to collect cups.
In case you guys are interested, there's for it.
Oh yeah, I'll have to show you my cup collection sometime then.
There is the link right there if you guys watching on YouTube or Facebook. Of course, YouTube has an error. Or
it popped up.
Said an error occurred. Whatever. All right. Edit. I wonder why they haven't added Instagram yet. Okay. I'm looking at this thing here, so let's see if they have anything else in this collection. Oh, these guys are being old Jeff. Oh, they have a kid's shirt, a mug, a sticker, and a hoodie too. The mug actually looks pretty cool.
So
I
the
like
T4
hoodies.
hoodie as well. You said they have a hoodie as well for T4.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
How much is it? $30, $40?
With what, the hoodie?
Yeah.
Look.
As long as it's not like 66, like a Cedar Point.
60, 45.
That's not bad at all.
It's T Public, not T Spring.
No.
I put the link in the if anybody wants to on that.
$45. That'll only get you a long sleeve shirt at most parts.
Yeah, let's go to Six Flags with your what is it?
Oh, the blue has a nice. I like the blue hoodie with the red logo. That looks it pops out quite nicely.
That's like Kentucky Kingdom colors too, blue and red.
This is what the
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
and you could get it as a zip up or a regular traditional hoodie.
You don't see a lot of coaster merch in blue.
I like blue.
I did hear something weird for the event, so everybody knows Theme Park Crazy. I guess he bashed the fact that they were holding the event, and he couldn't make it. I was like, oh, that was kind of.
Hello,
Hey,
Lucas.
What happened with Theme Park Crazy now?
I guess he was bashing the event because they had the panel and stuff. I guess he didn't make it because I don't know. There's a whole controversy that went out for it because he was supposed to be one of the guests on there, I guess. And I also didn't see what's her face show up either from Cupcakes and Coasters. I didn't see that she made the event either.
Which was weird because she was at a park over the weekend as well.
I don't know her real name, but I know she was invited to the event along with Peter Laverick, whatever his name is, from Theme Park Crazy. How was the forum anyways? Was it any good or was it kind of boring?
Honestly, I was riding Storm Chaser during the forum. So it seemed from what I saw from Instagram stories though that there were more people on the forum than there were people that showed up to actually watch and participate.
Oh, that's not good.
They had like 20 different speakers, I think.
Yeah, I noticed the way they did it. I was hoping they would keep it kind of like an argument type of thing, like ask a question and have them all argue about it. I thought that would have been more fun of a format. From what I saw, there was like everybody had a question that they like a person that was going to the event could ask a question, they answered it, and then they sat back down. I didn't think that was.
There were a million.
Here's who was on it. I'll just save the photo and show you real fast.
Yeah, obviously like Logan Joyner, 5E, Chris. Then I know Gabby from Coasters and Brews was up there.
Which we met them at Holiday World, and they were super nice people.
Yeah, they're real chill dudes.
Yeah, they are who they say they are, which is always nice.
It's just a couple of surfer bros that love Coasters and Brews.
Oops, wrong one. Let me go back up here. I hit the wrong overlay. Coaster Center, if you look over here, you'll see them. Here you go. So on the far left, you have Taylor Bybee, then Logan, and you have Chris from Airtime Thrills. Sean Flattery, which he used to be huge in the community. He has a lot of POVs from old coasters. And to the right side of him would be Dan from Midway Mayhem, Who's the other guy next to him? Because I don't know who that person is. Who is this guy? He looks familiar because he hangs out with him. I can't remember the guy's name. I think he's a podcaster. And then you have John Michael from Ohio Valley Coasters, and the right. I think that's Drunk Riders all the way to the right.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Oh, that's Coaster Force to the left side of John Michael, right?
In the gray.
Yeah, I think that's no. On the left side of John Michael. John Michael's the one in the blue shirt on the far right. The left side of him, I think that's Coaster Force. So yeah, there's supposed to be in total. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think there was 11 that were supposed to show up, and only 9 made it, or 8 made it. So it actually turned out to be a lot less than what was originally there.
There were supposed to be there was a handful of females that were supposed to be on the panel as well. I'm not seeing any of them.
Coaster Force General. You know, I met that guy at Indiana Beach too, and I had no clue who that guy was. Because the face of the face of it now is Sarah and whoever her I don't know. Those two seem to be the face of Coaster Force now, and I don't know why. Coaster Force is huge, though.
Yeah.
I want to know their secret on how the heck they're. I want to know what equipment they use because they have that new what is it 360 now?
Yeah. 360 POVs. They've been at it forever too. They were like Bybee, one of the first few to get in on the ground floor.
Oh, okay. So they're kind of like theme park review.
Yeah, they've been around a while.
They're not as cocky as park review though. That's
just about any. The most views on almost every POV is a Coaster Force POV.
Yeah, they do. And you don't have that annoying overlay audio like you do with theme park review.
Ooh, bumpy. Fair time.
I know when they first started on the game though, like they were really good, and then I don't know what happened. I think it's one of those popular.
Who? Rob Alvey.
Yeah. I think after a while, some people just let it go to their head.
Oh yeah, get an ego when you become king of the nerds.
Yeah, because I noticed. Well, there's a couple channels that are like that. I'm not going to name them, but they kind of have like, because you'll meet like Dan from Midway Mayhem, and he's a normal guy.
Yeah, like Chris, all of Ryan's crew are really nice to talk to.
Did you guys just see Austin's comment?
Mm-mm.
Taylor's making a documentary about RMC.
Okay, so I think Chris and I have the same opinion on RMCs. We love them. But the big thing is 10 years from now, are those coasters still going to be rideable without killing you?
Yeah, are they going to hold up?
Yes. That's what.
How's the new Texas Giant running right now? That's the good test right there. That's the oldest one right now.
It's also, I think, the most docile of them all, too.
Well, Outlaw Run's one of the older ones, too.
Yeah, and that's running. There's a big pothole off that first drop now.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough, but it's fun.
Oh, yeah, it's bearable for sure. It doesn't detract too much.
But Chris and I think the roughness is a part of the theme. But that's also back when they were pushing the
Topper track.
Yeah, if I think it had iBox track, I think it would be a lot smoother.
I love the topper track models personally. I've never been a huge fan like everybody else is of the iBox models.
I like RMCs.
I think All Out runs better than Steel Vengeance, and I think it's better than Lightning Rod, and I'm going to say that because it's more intense.
And
it never lets up.
Well, I love RMCs, but everybody hates my opinions on them.
Steel Vengeance is rated high because it's the general public, and most people can't handle intense coasters. That's why Fury 325 is number one for a lot of people, and that's why Steel Vengeance is number one for a lot of people.
I don't even have Fury in my top 25.
I don't like Gigas. Personally, I think Gigas are boring.
See, I like I-305 better than Fury.
Well, yeah, 'cause
I-305 is way better than Fury. I know a lot of people disagree with me, but that goes back to one thing I look for is force. I-305 has so much force, most people gray out or black out.
he agrees with it. He already knows who those pages are. And a lot of those channels are going to start losing people because of the way they treat people, but that's on them. I don't really care.
And then Coaster Center, he rode Outlaw Run 3 weeks ago. It wasn't painful, but it was noticeable, and we kind of thought the same thing when we were there.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't detract a whole lot from the ride, but you definitely notice it.
Well, yeah, the topper track's weird too.
I just love the ending of it.
The double barrel. Yeah.
I wish Storm Chaser had that ending.
I rode
Hello.
Tremors at Silverwood not too long ago. I didn't realize that half of it was topper track.
Really?
Yeah, because Fred Grubb actually licensed his patent at Silverwood doing retracking on Tremors and Timber Terror.
I'll have to go there and check that out.
It's like a hidden RMC credit.
Well, and see, a lot of people disagree with this, but one of my least favorite RMCs is the one at King's Dominion.
Twisted Timbers.
Yep. It is my least favorite RMC out of all my RMCs.
I'm just putting that out there. I think Orion is by far the worst edition of 2020.
I haven't read it.
That's not saying much because there's only 2 coasters that open, so
I haven't read it.
Worse
you're
than
not missing anything.
worse than the SBF Visa that opened at Waldemer.
I didn't even know what they had one open.
Does anybody ever know what happened to that RMC Raptor that was supposed to be going up at that water park?
It's still happening, apparently. They're also building an inverted mountain coaster in South Dakota as well.
Which I didn't. Okay, so there's a watching that Action Park documentary. What I noticed is that there is mountain coaster next to the old Action Park. Did you get a chance to ride that one yet?
I was gonna say, yeah. When I went up and did the Great Adventure with you and did the piers, we stopped and went to Action Park. It was your run-of-the-mill mountain coaster, but it was cool being there.
Yeah, I didn't realize that the water park was still open.
Yeah, up until like doing research into the mountain coasters in the area, I had no idea Action Park still existed.
All right, we'll catch you later, coaster. Somebody broke into Magic Mountain. 2 teenagers arrested.
They were tired of seeing Tatsu faded.
A TikTok video obtained by the Signal shows 2 suspects breaking into the park, past a chain link fence, breaking into the park's famed Sky Tower, filming from the ledge of the observation deck, discharging fire extinguishers, standing on the ledge of the tower, then jumping off a fence. Sheriff station officials reported that alleged vandalism cost more than $3,000 to repair. Deputies took a report about the alleged vandalism from park officials that involved large amounts of paint. Social media post doesn't show the paint vandalism. However, park officials noted Six Flags Magic Mountain has 24-hour video surveillance at the park. The park is currently closed, blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right, thanks for sending us that article. That's been happening. They call themselves, what are they called? What do they call themselves? They're all over YouTube. They basically break into abandoned buildings or closed places and then film.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of people were doing it at Hershey before they opened the season too. Somebody climbed to the top of Fahrenheit.
Oh, when we went to Hershey this year, that climbed to the top of parks from top of my list when it comes to parks.
It's like a Cedar Point almost, to where they have so many coasters that are just re-rideable.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't get as much notoriety. Their coaster lineup's solid there. Great Adventures really. What would you say on that? Would you say that? Great, nice seeing you as well, Hayden.
Hi, Hayden.
I think it's an unappreciated Six Flags park, and it has the potential, if they would invest it, to be bigger than Mountain because it's close proximity to New York City and a lot of other areas, and I don't know why it doesn't have the type of investment. Weird.
See, I've always looked at it as like a half-day park. You go there, you ride Toro, and then you go to the piers.
Hello. Nitro's not that bad. I liked Nitro, and I liked what was the other one? It has a lot of the special effects and stuff.
Oh, Bizarro.
Yeah, that one's not bad. Hi.
Did you get a chance to ride Chang?
Adriana!
Did I get a chance to ride what?
Chang,
I don't remember.
Green Lantern.
No, I didn't ride that one. That's the only one I didn't get a chance to ride there.
That used to be Chang at Kentucky Kingdom.
Oh. Well, I wish I would have known that. Darn it. She's bothering me. She wants to go to the beach. All right, we'll go to the beach. We're almost done.
Tough Florida life. You got to go to the beach, and I got to go to work.
Well, when you live in Orlando, you're only 40 minutes from the beach, so you're like whatever.
I'm like an hour from a lake. That's kind of like a beach. Got some water and some fake sand.
I'm gonna have to come down and see you soon, Dan. I miss Mind Blower.
Yeah, come on down.
And Chris.
I miss Busch Gardens.
I've got a fun spot past. I think it was 100. It was like 100 for a whole year, but I think it's a lot better than paying that. What is it? $55 to go there for one day.
Yeah, I got one. I think it was for like $75 last year during the Black Friday sale, and I've used the heck out of it.
You got an annual pass too.
Yeah.
You just like me on
I spent 4 days in Florida. I think it was last January or February, and all 4 days I went and rode Mind Blower at least once.
If you go during the day, well, yeah, if you go during the day, you can basically just nonstop. The only downfall of it is, well, it depends who's working it, but like over at the Orlando location, they let me stay on the coaster and just switch seats, and they just scanned it because they have the mobile scanner. But I think the one in Kissimmee, you have to like manually go up to that one and scan your van.
Yeah, so they make you go around.
They have a solid like the go-kart tracks at Fun Spot are solid too. Those things are crazy. The two that are in Kissimmee are what's the one called Vortex that has that huge drop right up. So you go up that tall like ramp and then you have that huge drop that flies into like that.
Yeah, it's got like that ridiculous airtime hill. You just slam it at the bottom.
Yeah, I got scared the first couple laps of it because I didn't know what speed you could hit that corner at. So
yeah, I was real sketched out. I was like, could I hurt myself possibly?
Oh, the mountain coasters in Branson were out of this world.
We're talking about go-karts.
I know. Well, I'm jumping subject because you're talking about flooring it, and that one mountain coaster, the first one we rode at night when we rode it at night right off the bat, and we just floored it. It was. I didn't like the other one though. I absolutely did not like the other one, which is brand new there.
What was it? The Branson.
All right, bye.
Yeah,
Bye.
I'm gonna look to see which one it was. I wasn't a fan of.
The Branson coaster, I wasn't huge on. The Runaway Mountain coaster, I liked. The Branson coaster was the one with the double lift hill.
Did you get GoPro footage on that, by the way, Jacob?
No, I didn't have a GoPro.
Yeah, you did. You had mine the whole weekend, didn't you?
No.
Oh. Liberty Launch. It's
Yeah, I like the Runaway
like
one.
being on video. That's all.
The one is the brand new one, and I did not like that.
What's your favorite coaster? Is it Flight of the Hippogriff?
I love Liberty Launch because it doesn't have seatbelts.
That's an Apex.
Stop ruining double shots with seatbelts. There's the new thing.
What? True, but Cedar Fair would tone them down, and they'd be just like everything else they do for King. Yeah. I shouldn't say all this, but I really feel like
Kings Island is a great park. You know it. Don't hesitate. Just agree.
I really feel like I don't know. After being all around the country this year, I really feel like Cedar Fair parks are.
I feel like Cedar Fair parks have all their like one big thing that's nice about them.
Yeah, but they all want to add gigas or family launch coasters. If you look
Six
at
Flags adds the same park, adds the same ride across the board at 3 different parks every year.
Yeah, it's just
They do.
an RMC everywhere. That's Six Flags mentality. Let's just throw an RMC into every park.
And let's just duplicate it, but make it one here and one over there, and let's not get creative,
I've always been much more a fan of independent parks versus like your Cedar
Chain.
Fairs or your Six Flags.
I agree with you. I am 100% with you. That's why even though we're only going to go to Silver Dollar City 2 or 3 times this year, we still bought a season pass, because if we have a chance to go more, we will.
Oh yeah, it's worth it. If you're going more than once, it's worth it to just get the pass.
Oh, especially because with their Trailblazer option, I rode Time Traveler. This is while riding every other coaster 3 or 4 times. I rode Trailblazer, or I rode Time Traveler 12 times one day.
That thing's incredible.
And that's while riding all the other coasters 3 or 4 times.
And I don't know if you know, but your Silver Dollar City passes get you 50% off at Dollywood as well.
I did not know that. That's good to know.
Yeah, Dollywood and Wild Adventures, you get a 50% discount.
Because I want to go ride Lightning
Rod.
Rod. I want to ride Lightning Rod too, but I want to ride Lightning Rod.
You have to do Silver Dollar City during the winter. It's phenomenal. The best atmosphere at any park I've been to.
Jacob, are you going to pick me up from St. Louis then if I fly in there for Silver Dollar City? If Brian wants to join us, he could join us that weekend too. October 3rd through 5th? Or is it 2nd, 4th?
I don't know. We'll have to plan it out. I'll have to piss my boss off.
Say what?
So you got to go in November.
We got 2 more trips planned. We're going to go the first weekend of October, and then we're going back in November for the Christmas event.
Okay, yeah.
But we're going to go. We're thinking earlier November due to the fact we want to hit it before temperature starts dropping.
Yeah, if you get there before Thanksgiving, you can walk on to everything.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as it doesn't dip below 30 degrees, everything stays open.
Yeah, and so that's why we've got 2 more weekends planned this year.
Bye, internet people.
Yeah, they dress it up in 10 million Christmas lights. They've got this huge parade.
They were already setting up the Halloween lights when we were there a few weeks ago.
And yeah, last year was the first Halloween event, and they did that incredibly. So I can't imagine how they're going to do it this year.
Which one's better, Silver Dollar City or Dollywood? I was at Dollywood last year.
Dollywood's Halloween festival is better. Silver Dollar City's Christmas festival is better.
Okay, that's good to know.
Overall park, which one's better?
Silver Dollar City.
Overall, yeah, Silver Dollar City, for sure. That was my favorite park for a long time.
If Dollywood has Lightning Rod running perfectly, then Dollywood's good, but a lot of times that ride's always shut down. The problem with Dollywood coasters too is like Tennessee Tornado is solid, but it always feels like it's missing something because it's so short. Wild Eagle's better than when I remembered it when I rode it last year.
Yeah, they loosened the vest restraints so that you can actually get airtime.
Okay, that's what probably happened. Thunderhead is better in the cold weather than the other two. It's weird.
All right. Well, I gotta go, Chris.
All right, we'll catch you later, Jacob. Well, we could head off here. We'll chat a little later.
Yeah, we can bounce off.
Thanks for joining us today, Brian, and we'll have you on another show. Talk coasters, like top coasters that we all like. That have it a little more organized next time with no connection failures next time.
Yeah, it was fun being on.
As Chris gets jacked up on coffee next time at Starbucks, he's gonna be sitting there, coffee.
All right. Been at 2.5 hours, so all right, yeah, we'll see you guys later, and thanks again for joining us here at Midwest Coaster Fans. Please be sure to follow Brian on YouTube, Kentucky Coaster Club, and Instagram, Kentucky Coaster Club as well. He goes all over the place. How many parks have you been to in total?
I think it's like 105.
And what's your coaster count currently?
541.
And this is all in 2 years, right?
About 3 years, but really 2 years. That first year it was it definitely wasn't the same pace as these last 2 years have been.
Yeah, so definitely go follow him, especially on Instagram. YouTube, are you putting out any new videos here soon?
Oh yeah, Castles and Coasters, Wonderland, and then of course HoliWood Nights, Keys to the Kingdom.
Okay, yeah, go check that out. It's just like it's spelled right there. I think on YouTube. How is it spelled on YouTube?
I think it's fully spelled out Kentucky Coaster Club, rather than just KY.
Okay. Yeah, I'm subscribed to it. We're trying to get his count up a little higher because he follows a lot more coasters and parks than we do. Unfortunately, fortunately for you, with everything that happened this year, I think you got a chance to travel a little more. Right? So.
Yeah, usually it was just every weekend. I'd rush a weekend trip, but now with all this time, we've been able to actually really drive places.
Do you have any parks planned here soon?
This Friday and Saturday. Friday will be at Storyland and Quasi, and Saturday at Sesame Place, Dutch Wonderland, and Knoebels.
Okay.
I'm gonna do like a bean weekend to make up for her missing HoliWood Nights.
You say Canada's Wonderland? Hear that?
Storyland and Quasi.
Okay. Where's Storyland?
New Hampshire.
Oh, okay. Well, you're headed way up northeast.
Yeah, about 16 hours.
That's cool. Can't wait to see the content on there. But yeah, definitely follow Brian on there, and we're gonna end this chat here. I'll put his Instagram and YouTube in the description so you guys are able to go ahead and subscribe and follow him on both of his formats. And with that being said, we'll go ahead and see you on our next broadcast here on Midwest Coaster Fans. Thanks for joining us.
Hey guys.